So here's yet another short story about a husband, pretty young husband, only 27 years old, kicking his wife to the curb after she wanted a, wait for it, open marriage. Another one of those. And initially he goes along with this because he doesn't know any better and he thinks, he just doesn't know. And real quick learns that she's nothing but a piece of garbage. And once again, guys, this is a reminder. I do these pretty often to make the point. If your girlfriend or wife brings this up, it's over. Because guess what? She's no doubt already cheating on you. She doesn't care about you. And this is a way that she can have both things. A commitment and a guy to provide and fun on the side. It ain't a good thing for you. And this always ends in disaster. But before I get into it real quick, guys, I mentioned the other day, come join me in the community over on Locals or Patreon. Just started the thing a couple days ago. People are coming in. For $10 a month on either platform, you can pick either one. You get all new videos on all three of my channels, commercial free, 48 hours in advance before they hit YouTube, exclusive videos, at least one a week, and the ability to comment away in a censorship-free environment. So definitely come on by and check it out. Post a link in the description and the top of the comment section. Anyhow, the title of this video is called, Am I Overreacting for Wanting a Divorce After Closing Our Open Marriage? And a shout out to Fred for sending this in. Says here, about 9 months ago, my wife, a 28-year-old female, told me that she had feelings for a coworker and wanted to open our marriage. Translation, I've been sleeping with a coworker and I want to keep our marriage going. Now you pay all the bills and I get all the sausage I want. We just bought a house and I just started going back to school to start a new career. I didn't want to consider a divorce. Smack. Why? She doesn't love you. She wants to F other dudes, man. I told her I can't lose her and was willing to try. Smack! Another clueless guy. She knew this. This is why she did it. I ended up burying myself in school and work, trying to listen to podcasts and read about successful E&M open marriages that do work. But slowly that feeling of being unhappy just wouldn't go away. You think? Your wife getting piped down by other dudes? I don't get how nowadays anybody can search for information proving this works out, given the countless amount of information and stories and videos like mine, that this doesn't work out. One thing I was very clear on is that if we wanted kids, we had to be close. She disagreed, but I was firm on that. Well, at least he had some balls about that, but yeah, she would have the open marriage even if they had kids. You should not have a relationship with this woman. Eventually, it culminated when she broke it off with her coworker, and the immediate relief I felt was so intense, it absolutely confirmed for me that I needed monogamy. I told her that, and she wanted to stay open marriage. I tried to give her the time that she asked for, but I was slowly sliding into a bad place. Dude, the most powerful thing for a guy can do is walk away. Hands down, and she still thinks no matter what, this guy will be with her. You act like a bitch, you get treated like a bitch. One night she brought up about making a decision about having children, and I broke down and asked for a divorce. Hallelujah, it's about time, brother. That ain't breaking down, that's having balls, standing up for yourself. We fought, but the only condition for staying together I made was that we each go to therapy. I wanted couples therapy, but she wanted to do individual therapy, which I agreed to. She didn't want couples therapy because she figured the odds are that the therapist would tear her a new one. We each have our own issues to work through. She has faced all forms of childhood trauma and abuse and struggles with the idea of feeling safe. I also got my own issues with anxiety and have been getting better over the years. You got anxiety and you married a gal that has all sorts of childhood trauma and stuff like that. That's not her fault. But when she brings this into adulthood, causing chaos for so-called people she cares about, no. And now anxiety and the open marriage. Luckily, this is the first time I've clicked with a therapist, and I feel like I was making a lot of headway about how I feel about myself. Well, that's good, bro, and make sure the therapist agrees to the divorce. After a few weeks and meeting with her therapist, she told me that she feels all this pressure to choose between what she wants and what I want. And when we try and talk openly about our situation, it seems to devolve. We are really good communicators until it gets to high-stakes stuff like this. It will devolve into fighting or shutting down. Yeah, it's easy to have good communication, whether you want to have pizza for dinner or freaking, spaghetti or something like that, or hamburgers. But big stuff like effing other people, yeah, that's a high-stake thing. She said that at the core of the open marriage is that she doesn't feel heard by me, and she doesn't feel an intimate connection that she needs. Oh, blame him for it, huh? She told me she has needs to be taken care of and needs codependency. I try to be present, but with both of us working 2 jobs and school, there isn't much of what she would want. I've tried to tell her to try codependency isn't healthy and that it shouldn't be what relationship looks like, but no success. See, she's putting the blame on him. You're the reason I have to have the open marriage. Dude, this is why, guys, you got to do your homework on your girl before you get married and find out about what their life is like, their family's life, their childhood. And she's a snake. She's putting it all on him. I'm feeling pretty put out by our conversations and talking to my therapist about my needs to feel like I'm enough, even if it's just for myself. Finally, one morning, she asked if it's okay to hang out with her old coworker and that she opened up for the gym. I flipped out and told her I thought that was bullshit. It quickly devolved into accusations, and we separated for the night. The next day after work, I wanted to talk with cooler heads and come to some sort of reconciliation. Smack! How'd that work before, dude? Right? Definition of insanity is to keep trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's not going to work with her. Well, she wouldn't listen and was trying to fight like last night. I've had enough and decided to end it. Thank God. Now let's make sure this is for real. I'm sure I'm missing a lot on the finer details, but it's all the broad strokes. This was 2 nights ago. Since then, we have started talking to each other like friends again. This hurts worse than anything I felt before, but I do feel a sense of peace I have been missing for almost a year. Well, in other words, he's getting divorced, or certainly hope he's going to get divorced after this. But see, guys, does this seem at all like she loves him? She's blaming everything about having to have the open marriage on him. Okay, and then anytime he wants to talk to her about anything, okay, small things, no big deal, but high stake things, it's a big freaking much of drama. And she was cheating with a coworker, for God's sakes. Come on here, we all know it. And she wanted to go right back to that. And he wanted to have kids, but he ain't going to have kids with an open relationship. She wouldn't do that. But remember, guys, when you show weakness, a lot of people like this will exploit it, okay? And she knew, I guarantee she married this guy knowing he'd be a provider and could put up with a lot of her bullshit. He was no doubt a white knight. But he's being R-pilled. So, guys, they bring him an open marriage, walk away. Don't even try to work things out, or try individual therapy, or try to bargain. No, that individual... And sometimes guys bring this up, is cheating on you. They don't care about you. End it. Now, a few comments, because the whole comment section is telling him to cut this bee loose. One guy says, you're not overreacting. She doesn't want the actual marriage, hence her cheating. She wants the stability, the home, and the life you built together. She doesn't want a divorce. She wants you to fix the marriage and you go separately to therapy. She doesn't want the embarrassment of a divorce or being called a cheater. This is not healthy for you. You're still young and have an amazing future ahead of you after her. Yes, he's only 28 years old or something like that. 27, 28 years old. Whole life ahead of him, for God's sakes. Another one says here, oh, this is actually from the guy. Our guy here says, thanks for all the replies. Wasn't expecting this much attention. I guess some clarifiers. We did rush into this marriage young. We do not have kids. Reconciliation was not an option after this conversation. I don't have a lot of friends in our city that I could have talked to when things were at their worst. I'm sad it ended this way, but I'm more hopeful about the future than I've been for a while. So yeah, I should have read that earlier. I didn't realize that. So he's done with her. But notice that this went on, and they're in a different city, doesn't have a lot of friends, nobody to go to. Because if he had people around that cared about him, that he could talk to, they probably would have said, you're nuts for going along with this. And one more. This is a comment from some other individual. Says, she's incredibly selfish and has no respect for anyone. She married you knowing how she felt. Then she cheated with her coworker until she pressured you to accept opening your relationship. She's manipulative and an a-hole. She's also not your friend. She wouldn't treat you this way if she was. She's literally arguing with you to be able to have SCX with other people. Correct. So there you go, guys. Don't do the open marriage end of story. And if you know anybody that is in this situation, it is your job as a friend or family member to tell them the truth. Whether they want to hear it or not, and the likelihood is they don't want to hear it.